Welcome to Europe Explained, brought to you by the Council of Europe. This podcast series offers a unique window into what we're doing to create a fairer, more democratic Europe. Through conversations with experts and frontline workers, we bring you closer to the issues that matter, from fighting discrimination to upholding human rights, from defending democracy to building laws, systems and institutions that are just, fair and open to all.
Dear ambassadors, members of delegation, colleagues, a warm welcome to this open day of the DPC. And let me start just with a couple of numbers or figures. The first number is 13.5 million euros. That's the part of the adjusted program and budget for 2025 allocated to our action plans. Really a testament to the critical role of our field presence. And this is really unprecedented. And perhaps more importantly, it's the stabilizing factor for our action that demonstrates our member states' shared determination to translate the Reykjavik Declaration into tangible outcomes. We are indeed grateful to our member states for their confidence and trust. I also understand that the intake of extra budgetary resources, this comes on top, of course, of the ordinary budget, for 2024 is really performing very well and reaching a new record high. And it will be really interesting now to see the actual number, so I don't have it for you today. We, and that includes the DPC here in Strasbourg and our colleagues in the field, have built a solid foundation for the Council of Europe's cooperation work. This is a work that's been going on for years already. And I take this opportunity to also thank the other parts of the Council of Europe services for all their contributions, their input, and the substantive work that goes into the entire cooperation sector. Then I come to the next number, and that is 300. With more than 300 projects currently running to support national reforms and strengthen democratic governance, we are working, as a matter of fact, on quite a vast scale across many different locations in Europe. Over time, the Council of Europe's cooperation with the EU DG Ref also means that we brought targeted action to virtually every EU member state. I had the privilege to closely follow all this work ever since we established the DPC, and previously we named it the DG Prog. And these numbers just show the strength of this evolving partnership and also the close cooperation with the European Union. And it comes at the time when we need to support our member states, and first and foremost, Ukraine, of course, and in the best and most concrete ways possible. We must be steadfast, but also show flexibility and ability to adjust, to adapt in how we work in a very and rapidly changing environment. While challenges, including threats, are growing in different places. That's why we must remain focused on strengthening our cooperation sector, not just for today, but also for the more long-term future. One where we can continue to safeguard, support, and promote European standards and values. That brings me really to the issue of decentralization. Back in 2010, when we launched the first wave of decentralization, many of your foreign ministers called on us to be closer to your national authorities on a day-to-day basis. Having been part of this reform, and I remember it very well, I can tell you how deeply I value this impact and why I believe the next steps are equally important. And of course, guided now by the relevant messages from the Reykjavik Declaration, we are preparing to move forward and take the next steps when it comes to decentralization and also mobility. And this spring, as a matter of fact, we will present to all our member states and the Committee of Ministers a new 4-year decentralization and mobility strategy for the Council of Europe. So, dear friends, again, I thank you for your political support and also the generous extra budgetary contribution. I'm also grateful to the Secretariat and especially also the heads of offices. I think we have 15 out of 16 here today, so it's great to see you all here. And also the DPC, led by Klaus, of course, and their combined efforts in sometimes highly challenging contexts. And I hope today you will have a chance to be even more familiar with some of the very important aspects of the cooperation sector and the work of our offices in the field. So thank you very much for your attention and enjoy the day today. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Bjørn, and for your support. There is not really much to add from my side after your speech, but maybe there are still a couple of figures. You asked for one figure. So the total volume of receipts of voluntary contributions we expect to come in should be around 98 million euros this year, but there are still calculations ongoing, so it might be a little bit less or more, but that would be considerably over the previous high from 22. What do we do with this money? Now we have 316 projects under implementation which are supporting your national reforms. And I think that's the main message. We are here to help you and our partners. It's true that we don't have the full funding for all of them, but we have 284 out of 343 million euros secured, so that's a good chunk, I think. And I also would recognize that 55% of this comes from the European Union through the joint programs, about we will also talk a little bit more later today. When it comes to the allocations from the action plan, I can assure you that we have allocated and spent what you gave us for 24, and that we are in the process of allocating what you kindly granted us to 25, and I would underline that especially for the launch of the action plan for the Republic of Moldova, the support was crucial to ensure the transition period. Also, another point I would like to make is that we obviously enhance the governance and the accountability of the action plans, also because you give us the support from the ordinary budget. So we will present new reports to the GRDM this year. We will continue to organize the informative meetings in close cooperation with the chair. And this year you also will have a review of the external presence review on your desk for the June session of the GRDM. And all of this actually would not be possible without the team. And the team, this is over 500 or around 500 people now in the field working for DPC, DG1, DG2 and the Congress, mostly implementing and overseeing the projects together with the DPC office core team. It's the staff of the colleagues here in DPC and headquarters, and it's obviously also the substance matter experts in the MAs. Another highlight I want to mention is that in Ukraine, which is the largest office we obviously still have, we now also have the Register of Damage and the Council of Europe Bank, all of the one roof, all obviously very, very closely coordinated. Now, coming back a little bit to the funding, if I allow, while we are very happy with the record high of receipts we have, and we are really grateful, I also have to say that we figured out that even with this, we don't necessarily always have the money where it is really needed. If you look at the 6 action plans, we are very grateful for the contributions under the ordinary budget. still, we could do more if we would have 70 million euros more. And here it's especially Ukraine, which is the biggest action plan, where we have the biggest support, and so we have the biggest needs, and are really need to work further on this.
If you enjoyed this discussion and wish to explore more topics, be sure to check out the episodes of Europe Explained. You can learn more about the Council of Europe and its initiatives at our website, coe.int. And don't forget to follow us on social media for the latest updates and insights. You can find us on X, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram.